And then there's dead silence.
And then we are live.
I thought he was going to do a snazzy intro.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like waiting for it. And
well, there's about a 10-second latency, so I want to give it time so we don't get chopped off.
Tito, would you like a macho intro to this?
Go ahead, Eric.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Macho Stream hosted by Tito.
You might want to turn your gain up a little bit, Eric.
Turn what?
Your gain, your audio for your mic. Because I mean, you're still kind of low. I might be low too. I think I cranked my mixer all the way up. Hang on one sec.
Yeah, he's actually sounding pretty strong with me.
Oh,
so anyway, we are here, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, Christy is not with us tonight, but I'm here with my cohorts, the real Dr. V, Eric Breen, and the new guy on the block is Comix Division.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, Christy doesn't know it yet, but we replaced her with Comix Division.
That's not nice. For either one of us.
For either one of you. I mean, Breen's not that bad. He can get along with him. He's just going to start quoting a lot of America Chavez tonight.
Well, that's because his dream came true, and he's getting an America Chavez TV show.
Oh, man.
See, dreams really do come true.
Thank you, Disney.
But are they nightmares?
Thank you, Papa Disney.
But I don't know. I want to see how woke they go with that show.
Oh, God, it's going to be amazing.
I know.
Because they're actually adapting Gabby Rivera's run. So it's going to be awesome in all the wrong ways.
I heard apparently here.
Oh, no.
Wasn't she with the Young Avengers? That was the better run.
There was a couple books that she was in where she was a lot better than that. None of them come to mind because I don't care.
She was based, I think in the Young Avengers, she was just the angry Latino.
No, Young Avengers, she actually had a personality, and I think she had a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and I think she was in one of the Ultimate books.
Oh, yeah, she was an Ultimate. She joined the Ultimates.
Yeah, but it wasn't until, Marvel decided to, embrace identity politics full bore that they, that's when they went out and solicited Gabby Rivera to write it. And obviously, having any ability to write was not a, prerequisite.
Not a prerequisite.
She has a requisite. Or
did you hear about Gabby Rivera's new book?
BB Free. Oh, is it November yet?
Oh, dude, you're waiting for it. You're counting down, aren't you?
Christy is listening, and she's driving in the car. You better watch the road. Don't try to
don't get too pissed at me and do crash.
Yeah.
Damn it, Big Ben.
All right. The first thing I had on the docket was the big news this week: Spider-Man leaving the MCU. I'm sure you all have some thoughts and ideas and feelings about that. So
I do. I've actually made 3 videos about it.
Yeah, I kind of thought you might want to talk about it. So since you have just put up a couple, I saw a few minutes ago. Why don't you start us with that?
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I was just kind of mainly covering what was coming from Cosmic Book News, and along with my own opinions and stuff that somebody brought up that I completely forgot about. So as we all know, the deal between Disney and Sony is fallen through, and Sony is getting Spider-Man. They're going to go make their movies, and I'm kind of curious how this is going to play out with both universes. First off, they've been setting up Spider-Man to be your kind of Tony Stark replacement, and now he's gone. So how are they going to go and work those details out in the MCU? Because there's going to be this void, and so far, anytime they've gone and had to deal with something when it comes to retconning or they painted themselves into a corner, they just turn it into a joke and don't address it again. So that's one possibility, that with the Spider-Man shaped hole in the MCU, as small as it may be. The other thing too is what exactly is going to happen at Marvel Comics, because the last time something like this kind of happened was with Fox. And this is where they went and killed off Wolverine, which I was not aware of. I knew about the whole thing with the Fantastic Four, and that was the reason why they were canceling the book. And I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he was like, "No, man, they would never do that." And that's exactly what they did. But they were also doing that to the X-Men. So it's the reason why they killed off Wolverine, and it's the reason why they were downplaying the X-Men in favor of the Inhumans. So the question is this going to happen to Spidey? And probably, my guess would be probably within next year, we'll see this happening.
It's kind of, if they do another movie or explain it all, it's just, or they want to explain whatsoever, it's gonna be like Dark Phoenix, where they just change everything, they ignore continuity.
Yeah,
They'll say,
continuity. It's something that people don't give a shit about anymore, apparently.
no. Well, these people don't read comics. I don't know who was reading comics and thinking that this Spider-Man's great. He's a mixture of Miles Morales and Peter Parker, but he's more Miles than Peter.
I would say he's more Ultimate Spider-Man than anything else. I think that's where they borrowed a lot of their mythology.
That was Ultimate Spider-Man comics, but the annoying friend is actually Miles' friend. And then
that is true. They did take that, and that was like one of the things I was speculating is at what point do they go replace Peter with Miles?
Yeah,
if you're
and I don't.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't care if they want to do that. I mean, as far as they want to make it Ultimate Spider-Man or have Flash in there, but even make it. I didn't care that Flash was even a different race. I don't care, or whatever gender or whatever we want to do. Just make him a jerk. He was not even a jerk in these movies.
He was kind of a jerk, but it wasn't. I mean, he was a jerk. He wasn't a bully. That's the thing. Flash Thompson was a bully.
Yeah, there's no puny Parker. There's no that stuff. You beat him up, throw him and slam against a locker.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason. I think part of that is, given it's 2019 or 2017 when the first one came out. As far as the movie Spider-Man, this is the Disney cartoon. The one where he hung out with Kid Power Man and Iron Fist and Nova and White Tiger. It's that character without the superhero sidekicks. And are you really allowed to even portray a bully anymore the way he was portrayed in the comics in the 60s?
Probably not.
I'll say the Ultimate Spider-Man, though, that was actually a lot better than what we got in the movie, that cartoon series.
But but there wasn't a bully in that.
No.
And I said, you can, today, I guess a bully can be someone that makes snarky comments, but you're not going to do one where someone gives Peter a wedgie and shoves him in a locker.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I I want to say it was like 2015 I saw this. Maybe it was 2016 before the election. I don't remember the exact timeline, but I was on Facebook and there was like this stupid conversation I was having with a friend, and there was like, I guess one of his female friends, and she said something, and I was being kind of snarky, and she started accusing me of bullying her. It's like, why? Because I said something snarky? I mean, are you that fragile of a human being? It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with people these days?
Well, the best way to answer that is go watch Dave Chappelle's Netflix show.
Yeah, oh, dude, I'm so looking forward to that, especially after seeing that Vice article that was written about it saying don't watch it. I'm like, fucking watch it, man.
Dude, the comments are like, well, now I have to watch it.
Yeah. now I kind of have to. And it's just like, in my tweet, I basically said, it's like, go watch it yourself and make up your own mind about it. Don't listen to a failing quote unquote news site.
Yeah. Like I look at Vice and I look at BuzzFeed and I'm like, they're the same company, they just have a different name.
Yeah, and in so many words, owned by different people.
Yeah.
Am I the only person that thinks that the only reason why that hasn't been pulled from Netflix is that a certain ex-president is probably a fan?
Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's making money.
I mean, think about it. You've got the leftist sites saying that shouldn't exist. Fox News found their inner church lady and they bitched about it, but yet it's still up. So that and I know the Obamas have a huge stake in what's left of Netflix.
Do they? I had no idea.
Well, I know they had that documentary come out for them.
Yeah, and I think they've got some stuff behind the scenes too. I think they've got some money invested in something there.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I knew about the film.
Yeah, but
I could be wrong about that, but I mean, I want to say that they do, but
You're on the wrong channel. You're gonna be on Neurotics for conspiracies.
it's there's only
Just kidding.
there's only one of us here that can play in that sandbox, and it ain't me.
Comix Division.
I guess.
He's on there every Friday. Or at
Oh
least-
yeah, I'm his co-host on Friday Night Tights.
Where did that come from? The name.
He's been doing it for years, man. But okay, all right. You remember there's a TV show called Friday Night Lights?
Yeah.
It was about football. That's where he got the name from. Would be my guess.
Because I was like, this has nothing to do with superheroes. You guys were talking about Game of Thrones and all that stuff, but it was hardly anything like comic book related. That's what threw me off.
Yeah, I think when he started it with I don't know who he started. Was it Dennis? I think was one of his original co-hosts. I don't know if they called it Friday Night Tights then. I think he did, but I think that also comes from the fact that Gary owned a comic shop.
It'd be cool if you guys covered movies that actually have people in tights. Do like reviews or night tights.
We do when they actually come out. I mean, we've talked about.
Like, I'd love to see
in-game.
you guys do a review of Robin Hood Men in Tights on Friday Night Tights.
That would be funny.
Yeah, he was on with Peter Cimetti earlier today too.
Yeah, he's had quite a few people on. Gary's gotten big and gotten quite respectable. So he has Peter Cimetti on, and then he's also had John F. Trent on. Let's see, Young Ripa's been on there. Man, I missed out on that.
Well, not just that. I mean, yeah, he's had comic book artists on there too, and he had the guy who did The Boys.
Yeah, well, it's because they're friends.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'll tell you that Gary did Peter's show. He was on the alternate channel today.
Oh, okay.
And then they got it. What took about 3 times to get on the air. And then they had about 70 people watching that, and I saw where then Peter did one with Frugal and Nerd Wonder tonight.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm waiting for? Waiting the day that William Shatner goes on air with Nerdrotic.
It could happen. It could happen.
I mean, of course, he might have to pay him for his time. He might not do it for free. Out of those guys, basically.
Now, Gary would probably donate his time to William Shatner, don't you think?
Right?
Yeah, Gary would, but I don't think Shatner will. He wants to get
then
paid
he
for
doesn't
everything.
get to talk to Gary.
Yeah, he wants to. Well, he wants to give all his money to that charity, so he charges for everything.
Yeah.
Who Shatner?
Yeah, and I guess
Okay.
you can't blame him.
I wonder how much it would cost for him to come on and just do a show and also promote his own charity. So.
He quoted a figure to Doomcock.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, we were gonna raise the money with a GoFundMe, but then it kind of got put on pause. So I don't know where that stands right now.
Do you remember what the figure was? Was it like
It was
Three
a couple thousand, I think.
Well, let's see if Chris Pine's cheaper. Yeah, Kirk by any other name.
see if you guys
A
get
Kirk
Carrie,
by any other name is still a Kirk.
yeah, try to get like Carrie Hughes or something. All no. Heck, you could get some guy with a Spock mask on come on and show. I'm Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, probably not. Not so much.
Like, aren't you dead? No, I'm not.
Fascinating.
Fascinating, Captain.
Well, you can get the Spock that was the bad guy on Heroes.
Yeah, what's his name?
Zachary
Quinto.
Quinto. Yeah, I just found out does anybody watch Mindhunters in this chat, this stream?
I was going to, but Rob, I know Rob Media does.
My wife watched it. I never watched it.
I just finished the 2nd season today. Damn, that is a good show. But
God,
the reason why I brought it up is that the guy the main character, he was Zachary Quinto's boyfriend for like 4 years in real life.
Interesting.
No, just a segue. But and a chance to get
Speaking
into
of-
how good that show is.
Speaking of segues, You can see how they're good. The guy who had the Segway died off the cliff.
No
What?
kidding.
Do you remember that? The inventor of the Segway,
Yeah.
he was on his trail on a Segway and he went off the cliff. He died.
Are you serious?
You go look it up. I'm
Wow,
pretty sure that's.
That's the coolest one since Jim Fix died jogging.
I remember that it was a couple of years ago. There was speculation he was murdered. Someone fixed his Segway.
They rigged his Segway so it wouldn't stop, and
So it wouldn't turn. It would just go straight.
So
why did they point me at this pier? Ah!
If only I could get off.
Will the TV movie be called The Last Segway?
Oh, they can make a sequel too. Segway to hell.
That's terrible. You're going to hell for that one, Dr. Bankman. Sorry, Tito, we're kind of hijacking things.
No, that's
what
okay.
exactly did you have on the
good
agenda
time.
here?
So, why don't we get back to the Sony versus Disney thing? I don't think it's going to be that much different. We already know that the MCU was going to go, woke, and I imagine Sony will do something similar. What do you guys think is going to happen with Sony?
Oh man, I don't know. That's a really good question. Because I would say the majority of their Spider-Man films have been disasters, with the exception of the first two Raimi films. But
I agree with that.
They had a lot of help from the MCU and Disney and getting the latest iteration of Spider-Man going. And it's good that they're keeping Tom Holland and not doing another reboot, because fuck all at this point. I mean, if they did that, no one would care. So they kind of have to keep him and move forward. My hope, which are pretty low at this point, is that they actually do a better job and they make him Spider-Man and not Spider-Boy. Will they go woke? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and find out. It depends on what direction Sony decides to go. I think at this point, it's pure speculation.
Do you know what's great though? They own the rights to all his villains. So even if it's woke, he won't be fighting the same two villains over and over again.
Yeah, that's always good. And shit, somebody was asking me about, or one of my comments was mentioning Spider-Gwen in the MCU, and I was like, well, it depends on what rights Sony owns.
Yeah,
my guess would be it would be Sony, because she was in the
MCU
Spider-Verse. No,
yeah, Spider-Verse, yeah. So they could do that, but I hope.
No, but that was a Sony film. It wasn't MCU, so I don't see them being able to do that.
I'm hoping that now that Spider-Man's back in the Sonyverse and been away from the MCU, they continue with bring back their movie. They're going to do Black Cat, Silver Sable, like continue the movies they were going to do. Yeah, they don't need Andrew Garfield. They do continue doing the Sinister Six and all that stuff.
Right. I think it. Go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say, was Venom considered a woke movie?
Not to my knowledge. No, it wasn't. I remember watching Weaponized Nerd Rage's video on it.
I didn't think it was, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Tom Hardy was not only the actor, he was one of the producers.
Well, yeah. Then that puts Sony in a very, good position if they choose to be kind of like the alternative to Disney's MCU, which we know is going to get very woke.
Yeah, woke as fuck.
And so it'd be interesting to see if they, because everybody knows there's more money in non-woke entertainment. It's just no one has the balls to stand up to what Richard calls those 12 psychos on Twitter.
Well, there's a lot of things that they're kind of driving it. The first big one is that a lot of companies use getting woke because they're already losing money in some form or fashion. That's what really caused the Gillette thing to happen.
Right.
Is because so there really is, and Dave Cullen actually did a really great video talking about the whole thing. Is get woke, go broke true? And only time will tell. It's definitely, I think, the case with politics. we shall see when it comes to entertainment. There's a point in time, I think, where the normies will wake up and go, "This is garbage," and will stop showing up. But it's probably going to take all or the majority of phase 4 to get people there, and you'll start seeing that decline either at the tail end of phase 4 or into phase 5.
But will it matter at that point? So, yeah, my tinfoil hat theory is this is a long game being played, and eventually they want to get to the point to where your only option is what they give you, and what they're going to give you is this woke AF stuff.
Well, I think people will start rejecting it, and two things: people will just stop going to see it, and they'll start seeking out other entertainment. More YouTube, streaming services that don't go woke. And it's definitely not going to fly in China, which is one of their biggest overseas markets.
Well, true, but they also, I said, look at the last generation of humans that have been cultivated by our public education system in this country. I mean, look at how easily offended they are by everything. So they may be very easy to assimilate to what I'm talking about the kind of just like one worldview of entertainment that they want to present.
I don't know, man. Point. I think things are in cycles. There was another good YouTuber. It's not also a History Hub; it's Knowledge Hub, and he had an interesting take on what's been going on with specifically with YouTube, and how the pendulum will end up swinging back the other direction. Because once like edgy humor becomes taboo, you're going to have a new generation of young people that want to go and consume it. And then therefore they're going to go and seek it out. And suddenly it's going to become popular again. So that's the thing. I do think that there is a cyclical nature to it. Yes, I know that there are people trying to push these agendas, and it's a good possibility. But the thing is, just because you try and push people towards things doesn't mean it will be rejected. And a really good example is what was going on with Marvel Comics when they became SJW Marvel. And suddenly you had all these people that were speaking out against it. And it's not just like the old people like me and you, Eric. You have people in their 20s and 30s as well speaking out against this thing. You also have people's young kids like Gary's kids' age who speak out against this as well. So as much as that they can try as they might, people who have a brain will figure it out and reject it.
Yeah, I think the long game is an excellent point, Eric. And what I think is, Disney has maybe a pattern or a long history of taking things, releasing them, making whatever they can at the moment, and then they'll lock them up in their vault for 5 or 10 years. Nobody will see those things. And then when they bring them out again, it's kind of like a new thing, a new audience is there, and they go from that point, And I think they're going to do that with Star Wars for sure. I think Star Wars is going to just go away for a while.
It should. And that's honestly what should have happened with the MCU once they were done with Endgame. It's like you have no place to go but down at this point. And I agree with the long game, because this is something Anglantine and myself have talked about several times, is that, we may have won a battle, but we're going to age out at some point. So we may end up losing the war. We'll never know.
Bring it back to Marvel Comics for a second, and DC. I mean, every Marvel or DC book, even the good ones, are run through an SJW filter. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing even in Hawkman that would offend an SJW. I said there's no, you only have to go back 2 months to the Avengers, to where Jason Aaron used that to smite his Twitter enemies. You saw what Sana Amanat, what she tweeted out today about, she basically, said Trump is Hitler. So that's basically telling half of the audience, half of your potential audience, to go, you know what, themselves. In this, I said so. We didn't win anything. Marvel.
No, I think we won a battle to a degree. I mean, you started getting less and less SJW politics filled books. Yes, you're right; they are still safe. But like I said, I think there's a point in time where they're going to be like, okay, the heat's died down. Let's crank it back up. And I definitely think that's going to happen when Sama Amanat is going to be the editor in chief of Marvel. It's going to happen.
Oh, I agree, because I said they're way more interested in promoting Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, America Chavez. I said there will never be a strong male character again in a Marvel comic.
But those books don't sell. I mean, you look at Comic-Con and you look at the top 3. It's House of X, Power of X, and Amazing Spider-Man.
Right, but I said if they can last another 10 or 12 years, something like that, and create an entirely new audience that doesn't know any better, that they might survive that way. And then, like I said, I think that's what they're going for.
Possibly. Like I said, eventually it will age out. So
I don't think they even care if they sell comic books or not.
I don't think they. I'm not so sure that you're not right about that, Tito. I don't think they care either.
I think what they'll do is they'll produce these comic books, and they will give them to school libraries all across the country, so that kids can have those things for free. And they'll use that to groom those kids to when they get into be in their teens and their 20s to go pay for the movies and buy Disney products and they're being programmed. Is what I feel. That's what I think is happening.
I don't know. I think at some point you start getting another form of counterculture. I mean, look at what happened with the 60s with the rejection of the norm of the 50s and all that stuff and counterculture. I definitely think you'll see a resurgence in that. Anytime something takes prominence, there is a counterculture to reject it.
That's true, but in the 60s, it was a counterculture of what became known as the liberals. Now it's going to be up to conservatives to be that counterculture, and I'm not sure that there's enough of us wired that way to produce that counterculture, or if they'll just silently go along with what's just like basically seed entertainment and just go off and make money. I don't know.
I don't know either. If you take a look at that Hidden Tribes report that came out last year, I think at this point, it shows that progressives are only 9% of the population. The rest is not progressives. And there's, I think 25% is considered to be very conservative to alt-right. And then the rest is a mix of, more traditional conservatives and people who would be considered to be classically liberal. So unless you start seeing like leaps and bounds with that 9%, and yes, 9% can cause a lot of damage. The problem is that the exhaustive majority, which is what makes up the rest of everybody, needs to start speaking out. And I think that if things continue down the way they are, you're going to see that. But you never know. Like I said, this is just pure speculation on my part.
Oh no, I think you're right, honestly, because like today when I saw I think it was Bounding Into Comics did the thing where they did the tweet that Sana Amanat sent out. And I just commented, I said, at this point, Marvel Comics should come with a free bike lock. And I thought I said,
oh my God,
2018, Eric doesn't say that. 2019, Eric is old and my filter's coming off. I just don't, I'm caring less and less what somebody hears me say now. Now I realize that I'm like I said, I'm old and I'm real close to aging out naturally, but I want to see people half my age, just spew that kind of crap because we need to hear more of it.
Yeah.
Who is this Eric Breen guy? I can't see his face. We have to dox him though.
Well, and that's the other thing too. It's like I kind of come to the point. It's like if you want to call me names, by all means, I don't fucking care. And that's like the huge issue where everyone's like, somebody calls you a Nazi, you're like, I'm not a Nazi. And you're stuck, defending yourself rather than countering the point that that individual is trying to make. It's like, you call me a Nazi, I'm going to fucking laugh at you, man. My wife's Jewish. I mean, you want to say I'm all right and I'm a Nazi? I'm just going to make you look like a fucking dumbass.
Oh, to be fair, there were Jews that did help the Nazis. But I'm not. I'm agreeing with you though.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be calling it a Nazi because they have these people that never met a Nazi in their life.
Pretty much. I mean, and the thing that really kind of bothers me about a lot of this garbage is, did you guys see the whole outrage with Sarah Silverman over her? She did blackface in her TV show like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was on a podcast talking about it, and she was talking about the issues with cancel culture, which is really funny considering she has contributed to it. And now she's getting canceled. So the irony is rather delicious. But one of the guys that worked on her show was a former neo-Nazi, and he did some pretty horrible things, but managed to find redemption. And that's the thing, is that with cancel culture, the problem with social justice and the cult-like nature of it is there is no forgiveness for your sins, whatever they may be. Typically, it's being white and male. But in order to get people to change their minds and to stop certain things, you have to engage in a conversation with them. You have to treat them, you have to humanize them. And that's the issue with a lot of this crap, is that it's all about punch Nazi, dehumanize the Nazi, all this stuff. You can't have a bank account if you don't think right. We'll get you fired. And it's like, all that's going to do is radicalize people more. That is not the right way to handle it. And I think we're beginning to see more and more of the detriment of these ideologies that are radicalizing people. And I think we're going to see more and more violence as a result of it, which is frightening. I don't want this in my future. I don't want people to get more and more nuts because of, things. I want people to chill the fuck out, enjoy life, and love one another. But we're just not going to get that these days. It's like you bash them with a fucking bike lock. I don't like your face. I don't like you're to the right of Bernie Sanders. I'm gonna club you over the head with a fucking bike lock.
It's funny though that she got canceled for blackface 10 years ago. Those same people had no problem with her dressing up as Hitler on Conan to be embarrassed about Trump.
Well, and the other thing too is that what she was doing was using edgy humor to prove a point about racism.
Right. Oh, I agree. I said, I don't have any sympathy for her because, I said, you participate in that culture, and when it comes back to bite you, I said, I don't agree with it, because I don't think anybody should, pay that kind of price for any kind of humor. Just like I said, I have no problem with her going on Conan dressed as Hitler, apologizing for Trump. But, by the same token, you can't then turn around and get indignant over anybody on the right, doing something similar.
Well, I think a lot of that too is that it's like there's two sides of her brain that are working at once. There's that rational side of, yeah, this is just comedy. It's, it's a joke. I'm using edgy humor to talk about racism. And then there's the other side where she's like, well, but I learned from my mistakes and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, fuck, dude, you didn't learn shit. It's like her progressive values are at conflict with how she really feels about it. And Tito, you should inject, because this is, your stream. And I don't want you falling to sleep.
I was just thinking as you were talking, especially, about some of this violent stuff, the Antifa thing. Well, I was just wondered if it was like this in the days leading up to the Civil War, and if it was really like that then, is that where we're heading now? I hope we're not.
Do you ever watch any of Tim Pool's stuff talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I can say is probably.
Tito, don't you remember we were in junior high back then? I can't believe that that I had to make that joke.
Well, if you didn't, Christy would have.
Venkman must be the one falling asleep tonight because
I'm just listening to comics, and he's very passionate about his hatred for for everything. What social credits? What's coming to us now?
Oh, the social credit system. Yeah, that's
My mom comes up to like, you ever heard about social credits? I'm like, yeah, 3 months ago. Where were you?
Who did that? Who did that? That video, was that Tim?
a lot of people have covered it. Tim Pool
Yeah.
talked about it. I know that Dave Cullen talked about it. I did some live streams with Switchpoint talking about it.
I saw a video today with that headline, and I just avoided it because it's, I see it. I don't want to see it. I want to ignore it, but I know it's there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing that's kind of scary about it. It's like all these protests that are going on in Hong Kong. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? They don't want China taking over Hong Kong. They don't want to be absorbed into the collective because the citizens are literally afraid of the social credit system coming to their city state, I guess is the best way of calling it.
I saw a meme early last week about that, and it was a picture of two groups of people protesting. One was the Chinese people in Hong Kong, and they were waving an American flag, and the other group was a group of Americans waving a Chinese flag, SJWs, and the Chinese group looked at the other group and said, "Bunch of fucking idiots."
Well, and a couple of the news outlets here have just straight up sided with the Hong Kong police and have called the protesters, right-wing agitators.
Oh yeah.
I watched a live stream last week around like it was just like up to 4 a.m. I was reading comics and I look at the Twitter and like live. I'm like, oh, from Hong Kong, and most of those people, yeah, they were masked, to hide their identities. But then you got these like socialists, like reporters, like especially ABC from like or other ones from like Australia, and they're just asking just stupid questions, and they're like. And the point where they're basically telling them like, dude, we already explained this. Next question. like they don't care. Like these people are like, we've done this peacefully. We've also been attacked. We've also gotten a little bit of violence. It's like they're asking, well, what do you plan on doing next? I'm like, he's like, we don't know. And I'm thinking, why would they tell you? That's the whole entire like point of their thing. They just want to get the China off their backs. They want to get rid of the social credit that they're trying to put on them. They wanted the cops to stop beating them up. People, there was a guy who just got beat up, who just stand there, innocent bystander, wasn't even part of the thing over it. The cops are just going up to random people, accusing them of being a person, a protester, even though there's a normal person, and they're just hauling them off. So the families the people who are on them. People are not. They don't care. They're attacking the cops now.
Maybe
it's pretty messed up.
That guy for Andy, no.
Oh, dude.
What?
Nothing. No, this is funny. In bad taste. It was beautiful. Poor Andy, no. He didn't deserve that shit.
If it weren't for bad taste, I'd have no taste at all. You know that.
It's just funny though, because a lot of people when they did the little live stream on Twitter, and people are like, "What? I thought this was supposed to be English." It's like, you're like, "Yeah." I'm like, dude, the guy's on a computer. He repeats everything he said, and he did in whatever they speak Hong Kong. Or I think they speak Chinese. I don't know what their language is.
It's either Mandarin or Cantonese. I don't remember.
Yeah,
It used to be everybody in Hong Kong spoke English, but that's not as common as it was.
Yeah. So
but yeah, I think it's Cantonese there, but most everybody speaks Mandarin too.
So, man, some of the other speakers where they speak English. One person refused to speak English. I mean, maybe he doesn't know how to. But the guy, Peter, that was the guy who was one of the. I guess I don't know if he was the leader, but he was the one who would he's following the live stream on his laptop. He would repeat everything he said in English because he knew he's following the chat. But it was funny how just ignorant the people that were in there were just big comments like that. Oh, it's like not English, not watching this, dumb. I'm thinking, why do you even click on the video if you're just gonna say crap like that?
Don't know.
It's just like drove me nuts. I'm like, but yeah, everything they're doing over there, of course they're upset. I mean, they were okay with it with the British ruling over them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, and I thought there was rules that the British put in place with the treaty allowing when they said they'd back off, that China couldn't do certain things to these people.
Don't know if there was a
treaty or agreement, maybe. Or,
yeah, like a period of time or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I believe Hong Kong was supposed to be left alone. But
yeah,
that doesn't mean that China can't just go in and do it anyway.
But yeah,
they're gonna use this event and justify it.
Well, the thing is, we can't really step in. If we step in, it'd be World War III.
Well, it's none of our business.
As I mean, yeah. So if we step into something like this, we're not involved. If anything, Britain has to hold them accountable.
I don't see that happening. Britain can't even hold Britain accountable.
I know, right?
Yeah, Britain has no lease there. They had a 99-year lease, and it was up in quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was the 90s.
Yeah,
I want to say
that homegrown terrorist. He's on live now talking about the Disney stuff.
Oh yeah.
What are you enjoying our live stream?
Yeah. Well, he's got his own channel, man. He's got to take care of business.
I guess so.
When I met my wife, she was working in Hong Kong, and I've had 2 sisters work there since. And thank God they all have not extended their contracts there.
I wonder if American McGee is still there.
So I don't have any family left in Hong Kong, and I'm really happy about that now.
That's good. All right, I think this is probably enough of real world shenanigans. You guys want to move on to Star Wars?
Yeah, we should move on to Star Wars, the Mandalorian. Or do we want to do Star Wars 9 first?
You pick,
Let's
man.
do Star Wars 9 first, and maybe it'll be brief.
Either one, people are freaking out, like, yes, it's going to be the best thing ever. I'm thinking, did you see Force Awakens? After I saw how they just uncarelessly just killed Harrison Ford's character for no reason.
No, there was a reason for it.
Because he didn't want to do it anymore. I'm done with this crap.
Well, there's multiple things. There's Harrison Ford not wanting to do it, and there's the good possibility that Disney is giving George royalties for the legacy characters.
Well, even if he's not getting royalties, I think they just want to move away from that and do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's Disney. They don't want to follow anything that has to do with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably pretty likely that there might be an issue with the royalties.
Like I said earlier, Harrison Ford is the reason why I got into those movies.
Yeah,
I understand he's too old to do all the stunts now, but I mean, he wasn't that bad in Force Awakens. He can still fly the ship and stuff. He can still fire a blaster. But
yeah, it's I don't know. It's a mess. But well, actually, I finally got done with my my trailer reaction video today, and I put a lot of time in it, which means it will only get like 50 views.
The big thing I think about that trailer is what is everybody thinking about the dark Rey?
What do I think? I think it's bait and switch. I think it is a tactic to try and get people to go, oh, what's going on here, and go see the movie. That's what I think is. I don't think it's going to have any kind of relevance to the story. It's going to be included in a throwaway scene at best, like a Force vision or whatever. It's just a gimmick.
Mm.
Well, there was someone who did a cosplayer already did that a couple of years ago, and she said, like, I already called this. She did a little thing where she's fighting against someone, and then where she's a Sith, but then she wakes up and she's still the Jedi.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a theory that Rey is a twin, and that both of the twins are clones, and one is evil and one is Rey. Thoughts on that?
Huh? That's curious, but
yeah.
If they were going to introduce that, I think they should have introduced it in the last movie.
Well, yeah, I think it's kind of late now.
Well, the biggest issue I don't see anyone really kind of talking about is the fact that is this actually the official trailer for the movie?
Yeah.
That I find interesting because first off, over half that trailer is prequel or original trilogy snippets, and then the last I want to say maybe 45 seconds of
I
it.
think that trailer is a extremely pitiful attempt at fan service.
It is. Well, that's exactly it. So either they're trying to lure people back with nostalgia. That's the reason why they have Billy D. Williams. It's the reason why they're bringing back the Emperor, because that's what they think Star Wars fans want, which is we just want good stories and good compelling characters
I
that
think
take
what
place
we
in Star Wars
really
universe.
wanted is a Luke that was representative of what we know Luke to be.
Well, yeah, it goes back to what I just said.
What they've done to him now, there's no going back.
No,
They can't
it's
fix
ruined.
that.
It's ruined.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're trying to undo the damage of the Last Jedi unsuccessfully, and yeah, that's it. We're gonna get nothing but filler. This movie is just there to cross the finish line, and it's nothing important is gonna happen. It's like there's in my video I kind of explain a lot of this stuff. A couple of years ago, I was in a discussion with a friend of mine. We were talking about filmmaking, specifically storytelling, and he had a really good way of summarizing how to tell a story. And it's that a man climbs up a tree, people show up, throw rocks at him, and the man climbs down, forever changed. And a really good example of that is the original Star Wars movie. And you get a little bit that with The Force Awakens. Rey climbs up the tree, but nobody shows up to throw rocks at her. So when she climbs down, nothing has changed. And that kind of sums up Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've gone to not caring quite a while ago.
Yeah. I mean, and even Han Solo had, his I won't say character defining moments, but character development. He starts off as this, kind of jaded smuggler who doesn't really give a shit about anybody except for himself and Chewbacca. And at the end of the movie, he comes back after, getting his reward money and helps Luke blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
He has a change of heart. What do you get with Poe? He's just there to, crack some jokes and blow up, Star Killer Base. That's it.
Yeah. And what do you get with Finn? A glorified janitor.
Yeah, he's just there to occupy space.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, hooray for diversity. Look what a party got. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's the thing I thought was interesting about the original, I guess maybe it was the teaser for Force Awakens, when he pops up, he's in the desert, he has his helmet off, and it's pretty obvious he's a stormtrooper, and he's sweating bullets, and you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have any of those like kind of defining moments in these. I wouldn't even call it a trailer, man. It's a fucking teaser. You learn nothing about the story. It's the whole point of a trailer is to try and get you to see the movie. It's to entice you, and all it is a collection, a loose collection of scenes to try and entice you. And it doesn't give away anything or doesn't hint at anything with the story, except the big shocking reveal at the end of the trailer is Dark Side Rey, and I don't care enough about the character to give a shit about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, so beyond caring about what they do, anything anymore, that I just don't care. I have no desire to go see that movie. I don't care what it does at the box office.
Yeah,
just doesn't matter anymore.
Nope, it doesn't. And that's kind of the whole thing with Star Wars, is that it doesn't matter anymore. There is such a high level of apathy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to end up in the vault for a while. You'll see maybe the TV series probably. If Mandalorian is successful, that'll go for a while. You'll see Rebels and things like that on their Disney Plus platform. But I think it'll be a while before they do feature movies, I think.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't either. I mean, they had this really good when they The Force Awakened. From that point, they had some really great opportunities, and they missed every one of them. Finn could have been a great character.
Yeah, he could have.
He could have been a really good character. He started off, it was something that kind of interesting, and then they just kind of fizzled out to where he was just a nothing. Same thing with Rey. Who is she? What was she? They didn't give us anything. She's just a nothing.
Yeah, and well, the other thing too, I thought was pretty funny about Finn is, I swear, it's just, his character with him being a janitor is just a joke that they made that they took too far, and because it was a joke made in Clerks about the whole thing with what about the contractors, the janitors on the Death Star when it was blown up? It was kind of this joke.
Christy is asking if we think that it'll be a box office hit. And I agree with what Eric said. It's not going to lose money, but
Yeah,
it's going to really underperform.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to underperform compared to the other two, and
Yeah.
it's definitely going to make its money. I don't think it's going to break $1 billion. Maybe it will. I don't care if I'm wrong.
I think they will. It's going to get the Captain Marvel treatment.
That's the reason why I said that. It may. My personal prediction is that it will make a lot of money. I don't know if we'll break $1 billion though. I think it mainly because of the Chinese market and the failure of Solo. Yeah, more people will be interested in Solo because it's the final movie, or of the new trilogy. But it just depends on the number of people who feel burned by Last Jedi. So that's the big thing, right? If people show up to hate watch it, yeah, it will make money.
Do you think that people will at Disney will try to pump it up and make it look good like they did for Captain Marvel?
I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know if they'll go to that effort this time. I think it might appear to be too much of a wall to crawl over.
I don't know. I talked about the whole thing with the ghost seats. And this happens in China, I guess, quite a bit. But a lot of how they justify that expenses, they buy those tickets and it gets rolled into the marketing budget. That's kind of how they get away with it, and it's ethically questionable. I don't think it's illegal. I know that it's been an issue with China, and I want to say it was like Ip Man 3 that kind of got busted for it. But it's kind of interesting, but we'll see. But I think compared to like Captain Marvel though, like I saw opening night and not a very full theater, where like every time I saw like Endgame and the prequel trilogy, or excuse me, sequel trilogy, theaters were packed. So there's probably not going to be a need for it.
I don't know. I think if we're gonna get some more movies, then we should get some more Keanu Reeves movies. I want Keanu Reeves to start doing his sequels to all his movies. I want Speed 3 be one of them.
Do you really want Speed 3?
I really want Speed 3 Keanu Reeves.
Do you really want it?
I want it on a plane.
You and Kalia, both of
Speed 3 on a plane.
He wasn't in the second one, was he?
What's that?
He wasn't in the Speed sequel, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Sandra Bullock was.
It was on a boat.
Cruise Control.
That movie was on Cruise Control. That's a very appropriate title.
Right? What was the other one you could do? Do another Chain Reaction.
I don't think I saw the first one.
With the hydro bomb. Morgan Freeman was in it.
Who was?
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, okay.
They
need to do another Crank movie.
Crank 3.
I don't think I saw 2. I loved 1, man. That was a beautifully terrible movie. I mean, talking about loving a bad movie.
1 was great. 2 was horrible.
No, those are the Jason Statham movies.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they're just like ridiculous. I mean, it's just like
It seems like Jason Statham. It doesn't really matter what they call the movie; it's always the same movie.
There's a rumor he might doing a Transporter 4. I mean, these guys, while they're young, they might as well pump out their sequels and get as much money as they can.
No, he's not that young.
I know, but you don't want to be like Stallone and still. This is the last Rambo. When you can't do it, when it's in.
Maybe they can do more Calvin and Hobbes and Shaw movies.
Calvin, Hobbes, and Shaw. Yeah.
They might.
All it needs is the imaginary tiger.
I imagine this was their test, though, to see what, because they don't have Paul Walker anymore, and they did Furious 8. I don't know how well that did.
Okay, Christy, that is a very good question. She's asking, so Norman question, what's the Mandalorian about?
That's
nobody knows.
Isn't that Tony Stark's villain?
That's close.
I think that's the Manchurian.
Okay.
No, that's the Iron Man villain in a really souped up car.
I'm still pissed off that they didn't really have the Mandarin.
The Mandalorian candidate. We get that?
Yeah.
And he molests young wrestlers. That was for you, comics. I just want to stay consistent.
Oh man.
Eric Breen.
Okay, Christy, in the Star Wars universe, the Mandalorians are sort of warrior type people. I don't know the name of the planet they come from originally.
Mandalore.
But, yeah, okay, Mandalore. That makes a whole lot of sense. Oh, here's Kalia. She's the big Mandalorian fan.
Yeah, well, it is. It's about a bounty hunter. It's Gary and I were talking about this. It's knockoff Boba Fett.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Was
See, the Mandalorians were not bounty hunters. Boba Fett was the son of a bounty hunter, and then he decided to follow in his father's footprints. It wasn't even his father; he was a clone.
Yeah, that's
if you go off of the prequel stuff.
Wasn't the Clone Wars? Were they all Boba Fett's?
Yeah, they were all Jango Fetts.
Jango Fetts.
But yeah, I mean, as far as we know it's about a bounty hunter. That's it. It's like the same problem that we have with the episode 9 trailer. Is that you have this trailer, and the trailer, in my opinion, for Mandalorian looks far superior than episode 9, but we know nothing about it. The character doesn't speak, and I personally, I think they're trying to go for that mystique of Boba Fett, but it's a good possibility that this show is going to be garbage too, because it's very vague. But I don't know, because of the people attached to it, Dave Filoni and what's his name who did Iron Man. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau. Thank you. It could be really good. But I'll be honest with you, it doesn't make up for The Last Jedi. It doesn't make up for the treatment of the fans. So why am I going to reward Disney with my money for their streaming service to watch this TV show that may or may not be good?
I've got an interesting trivia tidbit for you.
Okay.
If you look at IMDb and see the credits, I don't think you see Filoni, but as the writer is George Lucas. And I don't know if that's because it's an honorary thing or if he actually is involved with that show. I'm not sure about.
I don't know. Sometimes they'll have people attached to it, like Steve Ditko or Stan Lee, even though they didn't write something. Well,
yeah, because they've been associated with it since day one. Yeah. I don't know why they would do that in this case, especially since they're trying to pretty much erase everything he's done.
Speaking of, could I go off the board for a quick sec?
Go ahead.
Go for it, dude.
Tomorrow at your LCS, if they carry a magazine called Alter Ego, tomorrow's is an all Steve Ditko issue.
Interesting.
Hope so. It's going to be $10. It better be interesting.
Oh, Jesus.
But that company does great stuff. They do the back issue magazine, the retro magazine, and like Comic Book Creator and Alter Ego, and Roy Thomas is in charge of Alter Ego, so that's consistently good. But thought I'd throw that in.
Well, good deal, dude.
We now resume our regularly scheduled Star Wars.
Okay,
podcast.
Kalia comments that John Favreau and George Lucas co-wrote it together, so that would make sense why there's a credit there.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I can't believe how, like, looking back at the original Iron Man movie back in like 2008, 2009, before Disney bought Marvel, John Favreau, I mean, he did a great job directing it and getting it accurate as they could to the comics.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, it looks like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are executive producers on it.
But imagine if the first Iron Man movie would have been woke. Would anybody really even care?
I don't know.
Would it? I mean, if the MC would have started off just being woke like they are now.
Woke really wasn't a thing in 2008.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, we're still more in like political correctness.
Yeah,
we didn't really morph into social justice until about 4 years after that, and then it was the bullet train to Wokeville.
I'm just saying. Imagine if they would have started it now.
Yeah, I started really kind of noticing things around 2012 with Occupy Wall Street. I think is really where we started seeing the social justice stuff really rear its ugly head. I mean, you did have some things in the 90s, but for the most part, people kind of laughed at them. You know, you had this big kind of resurgence of political correctness, but the left made fun of it. You know, that was the thing. I mean, you had SNL doing skits making fun of people saying, "May I hold your hand? May I kiss you?" They were making fun of this whole thing that is known as rape culture now. And now they would make those jokes. It's, you know, it's very sad.
Yeah, speaking of Saturday Night Live, see that the guy that got into the dust up with Dan Crenshaw this season went off on a college audience last night?
No, I didn't.
Apparently he at one point called him effing retards. Told him to grow the fuck up.
Oh,
And this went on broadcast television?
No, this was in a comedy club. But the guy that did it,
Oh,
I mean, he's so leftist. He's got an unironic Hillary Clinton tattoo on his forearm.
oh my God! I think I did see that article. I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
I saw that somewhere. Holy shit! It wasn't
Now,
bound
he
in the
says
comics.
apparently he said, "I was just trying to scare you guys, but you do need to grow up." And apparently the university was not happy with the way he handled himself.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, I said, if you're losing guys with unironic Hillary Clinton tattoos on their forearms, you're losing the plot.
Yeah.
See, when it comes to like people speaking out and comedians like Dave Chappelle did today, people forget that Norm Macdonald's been doing this forever. If you're gonna heckle him, he makes fun of you in his shows the whole entire time.
Well, Norm Macdonald's been fired more times than he can count.
I know, but he doesn't give a shit. He's not afraid to speak his mind either. That's what I love about him.
For a show that's always been left as hell, they sure have produced a lot of conservative Weekend Update hosts. Obviously came to a screeching halt with Seth Meyer, but you think about it, like Colin Quinn, Dennis Miller, Norm Macdonald. I think there have been a couple other ones too that have kind of been right leaning.
Well, they didn't like the fact that Dave. What was it? Oh yeah, that was Norm Macdonald making fun of OJ.
Is Dennis Leary actually right leaning?
Dennis Miller. I'm sorry if I said Leary. I meant.
Oh, it's like
Dennis Miller. Yeah,
I didn't realize Dennis Miller was either.
Oh yeah, he got 9/11 changed him, and he's now straight up conservative.
very much so. Yes,
he's a Fox correspondent, or was.
Yeah, he was. Well, he left Fox when they ran Bill O'Reilly because they used to do tours together.
yeah. He and O'Reilly are really good buddies. In fact, they were doing a tour together, weren't they?
Yeah. I forgot what it was called now. And he used to do he had a radio show on Sirius. I don't know if he still has that or not.
Dennis Miller's funny.
He is. He's funny no matter what side of the aisle he's attacking.
And that's kind of the way it should be, though.
Oh yeah, but he's definitely, you know, well, he makes so much sense. Like he was on Seth Meyers, you know, a couple years ago, and Myers was doing all his liberal talking points, and Dennis is just kind of yeah, and then he goes, you'll get it when you're a little older, son. And obviously, you know, I mean, he did that tongue in cheek, but I'm sure he meant it. Obviously,
Yeah.
didn't have any effect on Seth.
I love him in Joe Dirt. When he's playing the radio DJ, just kept making fun the whole entire time.
It was Dennis Miller and Joe Dirt.
Yeah, he was.
I guess I must not have been paying attention when I was watching that Citizen Kane of.
And with that, Christy wants to know why is bedbugs trending on Twitter.
Oh, because somebody tried to say that one of the hotels that Trump owns, the guy got bed bugs and he sued him.
Well, there's actually like 2 reasons. That's one of them.
Yeah, that's the only one I saw.
Educate me, because I don't know. I knew that it was trending, but I don't know why.
Well, Philip DeFranco did a piece on it, and it involved some reporter, and somebody called him a bed bug, and it was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah,
And then there's like the whole thing with like Trump's resort in Miami, and I think that's fake news.
Yeah, but the other guy apparently he responded to the professor. And actually, a child told the guy to come to his house so he could tell him to his face. Basically wanted a confrontation. I don't know if he got fired though. Was he an MSNBC anchor?
I was passively paying attention to it, so I don't know.
I saw early this morning.
details.
Yeah. I'm always looking to see what's trending. Like the other day, they had an international women's equal rights thing, and then they had like International Dog Day. I'm like, what? I was like, every time I tweet, I'm like, how could you have? And then they had Ray. They're going evil. How could they have those 3 training at the same time? It's perfect.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I screen capped the whole bed bugs thing. I was like, why the fuck is this trending? And people start responding. And it's just like, and I'm like thinking, is this a slow news day? I mean, who fucking cares if one of Trump's resorts has bed bugs? I mean, that seems like something Business Insider would talk about, not everybody else.
Because they all anything to make Trump look bad, they do.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Trump derangement syndrome.
Yep.
The other day they made an issue that he doesn't care enough, so he's not aging as fast as he should. How is that an issue? I mean, really?
Well, remember they said he's a senior citizen. He's too old to be president. Now they're saying he's not old.
But yet they want Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders and Biden. I love how Bernie Sanders was cheering on the people protesting in Hong Kong. I'm like, you're an idiot. They're protesting against people like you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they're saying like, people are saying like, oh yeah, look at the millions of people in their city of marching. We should do that and overthrow our government. I'm like, good luck with that. Because the ones that are going to overthrow are the ones who are anti-gun. Remember?
Do you guys ever see the Babylon Bee tweets on Twitter?
No,
I don't. I know there's a site called Babylon Bee, and I've completely forgotten what it is.
Well, yesterday there was one that was Bernie Sanders goes over to Hong Kong to remind them how good they have it under communism.
Are they like a parody site or?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Today was church sets up a confessional booth for Chick-fil-A customers so they can be absolved from having eaten Popeyes. I mean, it just...
All right. Renowned guitarist Neil Cassell has died. You guys know who that is? Neil Cassell? Or near Casel?
I know that name. Who was he with?
I don't know. He's a guitarist.
Casal, right?
Yeah. He's a guitarist for Ryan Adams and the Cardinals and Circles Around the Sun. All Souls artist and a collaborator.
Okay, if it's Ryan, he probably wasn't that old, was he?
He doesn't look that old. He looks like he's probably in his 40s. It just popped up on Trender. Trending. I always get scared whenever I see a name there. Like, what did they have earlier today? And everybody thought he was dead. There's another name that popped up.
No, no idea.
Like every morning, there's always someone that's just versus trending. I'm like, why are they trending?
Yeah. So it's one of two reasons: outrage culture, or they passed away.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know you're getting old when you start checking the obituaries, not for kicks, but just to see if you know anybody.
You can find your own name. in
I
there.
caught my brother doing that today, and wouldn't you know it, there was one in there that we knew.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, he was 80 something, but he's like, but I remember he was, when Phil started a softball tournament in the early 80s.
There you go.
He played in the first several of them on the composite team for oldsters, and I realized those guys are probably almost all dead now. But
I love Christy's comments here. Her comment: Bernie Sanders looks like the creep keeper.
did you mean crypt keeper by any
No, I'm
chance?
pretty sure she meant creep keeper.
No, the
Eric,
creep
I thought
keeper
that
would be
too, but I didn't see
correct. The creep keeper is Biden.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
okay.
for sure.
All right.
Creep is the creep keeper.
Here's some word notes for you. Japan officially removes South Korea as a preferred trade partner.
Huh.
Huh. Well, good for them.
I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that, Venk?
Japan apparently is breaking out their trade agreement with South Korea. I don't know why. I have to read that. I have to click on the link. But
With South
maybe they're
Korea?
going through reunification.
tension escalated between the two countries over trade and wartime history. So,
Yeah.
the Rays released statement about tragedy involving Blake Bivens' family. Here's your sports ball here.
Wait, say that again.
The Rays released statement about the tragedy involving Blake Bivens' family.
No idea who that is.
Yeah, neither do I.
A minor league pitcher. And the death of three of his relatives, including his wife and a child, on Tuesday.
Well, that's a tough week because their original owner died yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, before we move on here, if there's any other comments about the Mandalorian, I think there's not going to be, but anybody that has something they want to say about it, we'll move on to general chat.
The Mandalorian oranges, those are great.
I love Mandalorian oranges.
Pretty apathetic, I think.
I love
Yeah.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
The He-Man figure or the physical ailment?
The Inhumans
both.
dog.
Yeah, the Inhumans dog.
Oh, that lockjaw.
That's the SJW line for this. Was it? I say, yeah, it's the go-to line. I
The
love
Brahma
Lockjaw.
bull-sized bulldog.
Yeah, with the tuning fork on his head that teleports. Yeah,
Yeah.
that lockjaw. I don't know why I was thinking. I went immediately to He-Man. It's probably because I don't like the Inhumans.
Yeah,
Is the Eternals gonna crash as hard as the Inhumans did?
It will be the cinematic equivalent of the Inhumans. Yes.
I'm really, that's something I'm curious about. I think that movie probably will not do as well. I think at this point, everyone's, with in-game being over with, they got the, release they needed, so to speak. And I think maybe moving forward, people might not give a shit.
Oh, here's something from my city, Miller. There was a rain delay at Miller Park, which it's funny because they spent all the money on the retractable roof.
But if something comes through before you can stop it, I guess. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kalia to the stream.
Hello.
It's the Cinema Queen.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
She was afraid we were going to leave Mandalorians before she can get in.
Oh, we're talking about talk now.
Topic's over. Moving on.
Sorry, we're talking
Okay.
wrestling now.
We're talking about how you love
What?
Hawk.
How I like what?
Hudson Hawk, your favorite movie, you said.
Oh, you're funny.
I know I am. Thank you.
All right, Kalia.
I
what's
actually
your
just
thoughts
got
on
done
Mandalorian?
watching wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I just watch Monday nights.
Oh, I was gonna say it ended 2 hours ago.
Not for me. I think it's still recording, or maybe it just ended for me.
Well, it's 11:02
Not where
here, so
Christy says
normally-
she's going to pull over and come on the stream to talk Hudson Hawk. Or I might have read that wrong.
No, I was just gonna say about the Mandalorian. I'm just worried. My initial thoughts, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this actually looks good." But then I sat back and watched it a few more times, and there's like zero dialogue in the whole thing. So I'm like, that's not good.
Like I said, it's one of two reasons. Either they're trying to do that because of Boba Fett. Boba Fett didn't have a lot of dialogue, and they're trying to, this was originally supposed to be a Boba Fett, recycled material, or it's because the show's going to be trash.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. But yeah, I love the music in it though. I'm like, oh man, they put good music. They did edit. I mean, it looks good, but like most movie trailers are better than the movie. So
Well, that's the whole point, is to get you to go see it.
yeah,
Kildea, you're young.
I do like what?
I was gonna say you're young. Do you know who Allison Stoner is?
No,
She's Phineas's voice.
No, I'm looking.
I don't know much. Many famous people nowadays. I don't listen to any new music. I like oldies. I'm kind of old, even though I'm young.
I was looking at what's trending, and all of a sudden, like at the MTV Video Music Awards, I'm like, I don't know any of these people on there.
No, I don't watch any of that.
She's the voice of Phineas on Phineas and Ferb.
Or
she's she's one of the voices. I thought it was Phineas, like Bart Simpson's done by a girl.
I don't know. Billy Ray Cyrus is on there. I know that. I saw a clip. I was like, wow, he's still moving around. No,
I do like.
It's funny. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's funny.
No, I just want.
Quit it, Dalton. I just want to say real quick though that it's funny that this guy is even so relevant because of his daughter.
Probably. I don't know. I've never liked Miley Cyrus. I think she's really trashy. So
Eric.
No, I just wanted to say one more thing about Mandalorian, then we move on. I do like how they are releasing it weekly.
Oh, good. So they're not going to do a full. Here's all the episodes. Go watch it. Go binge watch it. Yeah, that's
Wouldn't
good.
you know it? The only place that really gets it right would be Disney.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're gonna try it that way to see maybe people like it more. Maybe that's will differentiate them from other streaming services.
I think that's actually a smart move on Disney's part. And I know I've talked about this with Gary, but one of the things when it comes to the binge model is you watch over a weekend, nobody talks about it afterwards. You release it weekly, and people are going to talk about your series for, if you have 8 episodes, 8 weeks at that point, rather than just like 2 weekends and nobody gives a shit anymore. So I think that's actually a smart move on them.
That's exactly right. And DC Universe got it right.
Yeah.
They were the first ones to get it right. And I think
Hulu did that too with their original programming.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Back when it first started, shit, I can't remember the name of the series. But several of them was like that. You had the one about the Kennedy assassination, and then there was like kind of like this improv show that took place in the Wild West. And I mean, this is a long time ago. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but yeah, they were doing that. And I want to say, no, they still are, because my wife was watching the Mini Project, and it was getting released on Mondays, I believe.
Here you go, Eric.
DC Universe and Amazon are both dumping full seasons now, and I don't think that's wise.
No, it's not.
Eric, dreams are coming true today. Leslie Jones leaving Saturday Night Live.
That would necessitate me watching Saturday Night Live. And
yeah,
that
girl
girl you just mentioned, she's the voice of Isabella Garcia Shapiro on Phineas and Ferb.
Who is?
Allison Stoner.
Okay.
I knew that name from somewhere.
Well, this one's performed with Missy Elliott at the VMAs, and she's like doing.
Yeah, apparently, she's a dancer as her main gig.
Yeah, I don't want to call her that.
Well,
She's doing it on the stage here. It looks like a stripper on crack.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
Oh, charming.
What's that?
So she's the new Miley Cyrus then.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't you guys remember? Maybe you guys don't remember Miley Cyrus dancing with I don't even know his name.
Oh, Billy
She
Idol.
was barely wearing anything, and it was just a few years ago. I can't remember what that guy's name is. He's a singer.
I know she was a
And
Billy Idol.
they performed together, and she like grinded up against him like the whole performance.
Yeah,
And he's married. and
I
stuff.
remember that. I do remember that.
She did a tour
that's
with
just
Billy Idol
appalling.
for a while. I sang White
And
Light.
the guy singer is like Mexican or Puerto Rican or something. I can't even remember his damn name.
Oh, is that
Because I don't listen to any stuff. Huh?
I think I know what you're talking about. Does he sing Uptown Funk?
Yeah. I did.
Bruno Mars? Was it that? Or was it someone else?
No, I don't think it's Bruno Mars.
so you're saying she's a brazen hussy, is what you're saying?
Well, she cheated on her husband. That's why they're getting a divorce. So
I had no idea she was even married. Who's she
Yes.
married to?
Christy
She was
was
like a
right.
little
Robin
Hemsworth.
Thicke. That's his name. Robin Thicke. Christy
Oh.
got it.
Yeah, she was married to Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, this girl just doesn't know if she's
Yeah.
what her sexual orientation is because she's either going with
Yeah.
guys or girls.
Oh, she's an idiot.
I think she said she was like pansexual. Isn't that where they like anything? I guess.
Like I
Or
said,
I don't know.
when
Peter
you're
Pan.
when you're the embarrassment in a family that
Of
has someone
embarrassments?
produced Achy Breaky Heart as its claim to fame, you've really accomplished something.
I like that song.
So did my music teacher back when I was in elementary school. So, but I didn't
Yeah,
care for
you
it.
like that
She-
song,
she's
but
just-
can you name any other songs that he ever did?
Probably not.
I can't. And you know,
No.
Some gave all. All gave some, but some gave all.
I can only name one of Miley's too, the Wrecking
Well,
Ball song. That's the
I
only song
think
I
that
know.
we
of
have to
hers.
give Eric the Billy Ray Cyrus Award for tonight.
Well, I've remember 30
For
years.
what?
in
Having a
record
bad
store.
mullet?
Eric's gonna read that. Eric's gonna read that quote by comment in Macho Man voice.
Oh yeah! Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think he'd understand. If you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and snap into a Slim Jim. Ooh yeah!
All right, guys, I'm gonna bail.
On that note,
There's
With
nowhere.
that-
If there was ever
There's
a good
nowhere to
note
go but the
that was
fuck out
it.
of here after that.
No, I'm actually getting kind of tired. It's like I adopted a new dog last week, and his schedule is not exactly synced up with mine yet. So he keeps waking me up at like 7 in the morning.
that was
And
my background.
yeah, I was up pretty late last night, recording my trailer reaction video, and I finally got done. Now I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm exhausted.
Well,
But that was like
I
a
wanna-
perfect note to final, to exit on.
I want to
Thanks,
thank you
Eric.
for coming in and being with us tonight. And if you'd like, go ahead and talk about your channel for a minute and post your link in there.
Yeah, sure. First off, hey Tito, this is like the first time we've actually talked in person. Thanks being a supporter of Comix Division.
No, you're very welcome.
Whatever my channel is called these days. But yeah, I'll grab a link real quick and.
I don't know if he's able to post a link in there. Unless he's a moderator.
Oh, that's right. If
Post it
I'm
in
a moderator-
the private chat here on StreamYard. He'll just copy and paste it for you.
There we go. Let's do that.
Private chat.
Private chat.
There we go.
All right. Take care, guys, and I will see you later. And thanks for being awesome. And Kalia, thank you for being a supporter as well.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll have to live stream soon.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I just haven't been up to doing it for some reason. I was just like,
Same here.
I gotta focus on creating content. I did set a goal. I want to try, and this is probably not realistic, but my goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm not that far away from 2,000. So 3,000. Yeah, good luck. Well, you're not on the stream, Christy, and yes, thank you for being a supporter. I'm not trying to ignore you, but you're not here in person for me to thank. But I'll thank you anyway. So thanks for being a supporter. And she's running over the subscribe star right now to yank it.
You do commissions at all?
Do I do commissions? What do you mean?
Like for videos?
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why on my Discord I have video suggestions.
Okay.
And if it's something I can get to, I'll get to it.
I don't know what you really do for videos, because I know he does the comic book origins, if they're good or bad and stuff.
I originally, as obvious by the name of the channel, started talking about comic books, and
I know, right?
I did that when Comicsgate kind of got started, and
I want to choose my name now.
yeah, it's like I didn't fucking think this one through now, did I? So yeah, now I'm doing other stuff. I didn't change the name. I just kind of stuck with it, and I don't know if I'll ever change it, but
Comedy Division is called.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick before you get out of here, did that book that I sent you ever make it to you?
Yes, I did get it. I thought I told you.
You may have, but I don't see half the stuff. Because remember, techno idiot here, as Christy would say, I feel a sneezing fit coming on. Getting around tech. That's cool.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Hey, Comics, before you leave, type something into the chat window.
Which one?
Either one.
Okay.
The public chat.
And I'll type one in the public chat.
No, he can moderate you. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Then you can show all you want.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll
take care.
Take care, everyone.
All righty. Good night.
See ya.
Yep.
There we go.
I never noticed that. Comix Division doesn't smoke in real life, but he has a character that smokes.
All of his avatars smoke.
Yeah.
He even has smoking Batman.
Wasn't that Batman Wolverine?
And Wolverine, and now is like the new one reminds me of Archer.
Kind of it.
Night, Comics.
Oh, he's still here. Crap.
Hey, I want you all to know that you'll be real proud of me, because before tonight, I had no idea how to make somebody a wrench.
Oh, cool.
So, hey, I'm bad.
Nice. All right. So now that he killed the stream by leaving, I love I can't go comment there. I can't see Eric's face now at all because of the banner.
That's.
So I think we're into
I don't think
general
anybody's
question and
complaining.
answer time. Is that what we're doing now?
It depends how long you guys want to go. I mean, I'm not tired yet. If anything, I've actually just been catching up on the Amazing Spider-Man comics. I'm finally on to volume 8 from last year. Or not volume 8, but issue 8. Eric, did you read those at all?
Issue 8 of what?
Amazing Spider-Man from last year.
You said like the original series?
So it's ongoing right now.
Oh no, I the Nick Spencer one.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Yeah.
Nah, I'm more than done with Marvel.
Because I got in issue 3 this morning, and I was like, "What the hell is this crap?" Like they showed and they made the comment about, if you saw it this morning, there was a post they did where he makes a comment about nostalgia, how people do the reboots all the time and how they ruin stuff, and thinking like his comment, the way he did it, is a double-edged sword. He could be criticizing fans, or he could be agreeing with them, saying he hates reboots. It was but I'm thinking like, man, this is I remember because after I just got done reading the Donny Cates's run of Venom, and he also did read was it Absolute Carnage, both great. But now I'm trying to get into Spider-Man, and I'm like, man, this is like it's starting to get. I got a feeling it's just going to start going political.
Well,
and I guess there was it issue 27. People were talking about that last week.
Yeah, and it's again, you can't trust modern comics. He can say it's tongue in cheek, but is it really? Because whenever I hear the term, I'm sorry, there's no ironic use of the term toxic masculinity. If you use that term, you mean it. If you've got a track record of being an SJW, which anybody that works for Marvel absolutely does, and it's like, okay, that might be a fairly decent book, but and I don't mean to sound like the get off my lawn guy, but it's not. Anything Nick Spencer does isn't going to be anywhere near as good as what Conway did, or what Michelini did, or what Stern did, or what DeMatteis did, or what Lee did, or et cetera, et cetera. And it's like at $4 or $5 a pop, which at Marvel's more 5 than 4. You can buy all kinds of good comics that aren't going to disappoint you out of dollar bins.
Here's the actual line it says, though. He says, I'm just worried the culture is becoming too dependent on nostalgia.
Oh, who's that? Nick Spencer?
Yeah, spreading that.
Him.
Because I'm like, that's a double-edged sword. It could mean two different things. But knowing them, how they write.
That's what you say when the facsimile editions are outselling the new product. I said, Didio's been whining about it. It's only a matter of time before CB starts whining about it. But the reality is, if given a choice, most people would rather read the stuff that was done 30 or 40 years ago than this,
Oh, definitely.
politically correct.
How he's able to bring up this quote and everything, because he was fighting the Tri-Sentinels, and he's like, and he's basically said, it's like, who asked for these comeback? It's like the Arrested Development comeback. How do you even hope to recreate that magic, right? You can't. Still some funny parts, though. But I'm thinking, like, he's just taking jabs at political stuff, too, and this other stuff. But I'm thinking, why even make that comment? I mean, I watched the original Arrested Development. I liked it with Jason Bateman. But then he's putting down that show now.
And again, and these guys, they miss the point. It's not nostalgia that we're looking for. If we want nostalgia, we can find that anywhere. We just want the stuff. We want the books today to be done with the same sensibilities that they were in those days when story came first. It's it's something I started saying about a year ago, and I'm going to stick with it. When agenda trumps adventure, it's over.
Right?
It's simple as that. And Marvel is over 80% there with what they produce, because there's no way you can point to an issue of whether it's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, America, Unstoppable Wasp, West Coast Avengers, even Tony Stark Iron Man, where the adventure comes before the agenda. It just doesn't happen. It's starting to creep into Immortal Hulk. I said, 2 or 3 issues of the Avengers ago, and even if they've got a good adventure, if they use She-Hulk, she looks like, I mean, look, she's as big as the Hulk ever was. So, again, it's just, it's agenda comics.
All right.
I'll get off my soapbox now.
I'm just paying attention to our one devoted listener. She's demanding we do something. Good night, Christy's mom.
Good night, Christy's mom.
Christy's mom has got a call. I'm sorry. Good night, Christy's mom.
I love that song.
Good night, Tito.
Good night. Good
No,
night.
I wasn't sure if you were awake or not because
No,
So
I
I'll
was
say-
actually in Twitter for a minute. My brother, I guess, has been watching us live, and I didn't know he was there until I checked Twitter.
oh, cool. Hi,
Wow,
Tito's brother.
Wow, it must be nice to have a brother that cares.
is this family night?
Oh, yeah,
I guess.
I'm right there with you, Eric. Both my brothers don't care about me either. So
That's yeah. My brother.
I don't know that he's still there or not. If he is, maybe he'll put something in the chat window.
Couldn't get my brother to tune into one of these to save my life. Of course, I think about it. It's
on
not
the
that I
She-Hulk
want him.
thing, it'll. I'd be shocked if they go with the sexy She-Hulk, but they should.
Oh, that ain't happening.
And I know it's not going to happen. And what also is weird is, I mean, where has she been this whole time? Like, we've had Hulk. That's his cousin, isn't it? Or so
Yeah.
where is she? Like, we haven't even had like a name or like any kind of thing. So how it, unless it's like, I don't know. I don't know She-Hulk very well, so I don't know
No,
timeline wise. How would
No,
you
she's
fit
been
her
there.
in?
and it's still
Yeah.
technically Jennifer Walters, but they've, they said somewhere during All New, All Different, she mutated into which they had done before as plot points, but at the end she would always get her sexy self back because that's who she wanted to be. She would go through, like she out of guilt, I think, turned into like a mindless monster once. But in in these days of woke, you can't have an overtly sexy woman because of the male gaze.
Oh, I've got an even bigger problem with. Okay, let me say this. If I'm understanding my She-Hulk correctly, she came into being because she was in some kind of traumatic accident, and the only person that could donate blood when she needed a transfusion was Bruce.
Right.
And so
Correct.
then she got his blood in her and became She-Hulk. How could they possibly portray that story in a film these days?
Well, what they could do if it's going to be a TV
No.
series, they could be they could. What they'll
She
say?
could not be getting her power from a man.
No, I know. But if they do like they do with the CW Supergirl, they just have they don't even show Hulk on the Disney thing at all.
That's a good point.
They just say she's been doing this for a while, keeping a low point, and then they'll all of a sudden she'll get a car accident, and then they'll do that, but they won't have Hulk in there whatsoever.
And then another more serious, because we all knew the answer to that. More serious question is, I think, and I don't know that I'm right about this, but I'm pretty sure that Universal Studios has the same deal with the Hulk that Sony has with Spider-Man. They own the rights, and I think they own the rights to Hulk characters, which includes the leader and She-Hulk and Rick Jones. So if they do get She-Hulk in the MCU, they're not going to be doing a solo movie with her.
I don't know. My favorite version I actually saw that Disney actually did with She-Hulk, and they didn't make her super woke or anything, was when she was on the cartoon on Disney XD, Hulk and Age of Smash, and they worked out well. They had even had actual popular actress Elijah Dushku.
Yeah, they can include it the same way they've done with the Hulk. They're not giving a Hulk a standalone movie, but they're giving him story arcs within the Avengers movies.
Yeah,
and they could do the same thing with her. In fact, I think that's what they'll do. But I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean, first of all, who do you get actors get to play it? And Superbird is saying, I forgot who they're saying, but I think the girl who plays Queen Maeve from The Boys would be a perfect She-Hulk.
Well, they're not. I said I think they're going to do it on the Disney one of the television thing, and depending on the budget, they'll have an actress play Jennifer, but when the She-Hulk will be CGI, and I don't even know if they'll do it based on, because the Hulk looks like a CGI bloated version of what's that guy's name? I
Uh,
Jesus
Lou
Christ.
Mark
Ferrigno.
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, thank you.
Mhm.
Because they're gonna. I'm sure the actress that plays Jennifer will be attractive, and I don't think they're gonna want that for She-Hulk. I think they're gonna want it to be, the mannish looking, bulked up.
I'm just saying they could get the girl, the woman who played Queen Maeve on The Boys, the one that
Well,
they could. She's fit.
40. She's also 40 something.
I think a great She-Hulk, now it'll be an unpopular opinion, would be Ronda Rousey.
She's too small.
No, they want someone with height.
Oh,
Yeah, she's too small to be Jennifer Walters.
Yeah.
How tall is she? Like 6 feet in the comics or something?
Oh, well, in the comics, She-Hulk's 7 feet.
Yeah.
And
well,
Jennifer Walters is like 5'8", 5'9", and Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey's about what, 5'4"?
But
she's really that short? Wow.
Yeah, she's not that tall. She's
No.
a little woman, but she's bad, but she's small.
Then I have no idea who could play her then.
Well, it has potential to be a really fun show. They're not going to let it be fun or sexy. It's going to be woke and agenda driven.
do you think they'll really do this the CG and all stuff for a weekly TV series?
Oh, I think they'd have to.
You don't want the Bill Bixby Hulk thing, Lou Ferrigno?
I don't think they can find anybody, that could make that work. I mean, because like I said, if you're going to have her doing things that ordinary, like if you're going to have her like picking up tanks and things like that, you're going to have to CGI everything else. You just might as well CGI her too.
Well, look what they did with Jessica Jones. They took Kristen Ritter, who's skinny as hell, and somehow made her super strong.
Yeah, but that was like break a door handle, not break a vault off its hinges. Like remember the Lou Ferrigno Hulk when they had to do a 2-part episode. The part 1 was him pushing the Volkswagen up to the cliff.
Yeah.
And part 2 was him pushing it off the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they'd have to do it like that if they don't CGI.
I just still love that where they get.
I think for sure they will CGI.
Dude, Lou Ferrigno versus the grizzly bear will only be the best fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Lou Ferrigno and the Thor episodes?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
the Incredible
forgot
Hulk.
about those.
That was the trial of the Incredible Hulk, wasn't it?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie.
Remember Rex Smith as Daredevil?
Yeah. At least at Thor, though, he turned into Donald. He transformed into Donald Blake. They kept that part. That was cool.
Well, yeah. So that would have been cool for the movies, but I think we talked about this on a previous live stream. That was not unprecedented. Like I said, Walt Simonson's run didn't use Donald Blake, and that's the best run in that book's history. So that's
Well, at least they give him the name for a fake, ID.
you talking about in that particular run or in the movie?
In the movie, they needed an identity for him, and so they gave him somebody's badge with that name on it.
Mm.
And that was as close as they got to the comics.
God, I remember this.
I think the two things going for She-Hulk and My Moon Knight is that they are on the very tail end of Phase 4.
I was going to ask
So,
you about Moon Knight because I know you're
hours.
really
Moon Knight,
Yes.
Moon Knight was great in Avengers Assemble cartoon. He was everything like it was in the comics. Now what they're going to do with live action, good luck with that.
Okay, what Moon Knight? What version of Moon Knight do you like, Kalia?
Mark Spector, sorry.
Okay, listen,
Mark
I
Spector,
think back at
obviously.
the original version where he was, I said, Jake Lockley and Mark Spector, and I forgot the other, the cab driver, or no, Jake was the cab driver, right? And then there was the mercenary, and then Mark Spector. I always forget who the third personality was.
I'm trying to remember. I'm looking it up because I can't remember the third one.
And then
Well, Mark Spector's the first one,
Yeah, and then but I said I know he had 3 personalities in the early days. I said but I can never remember the third one. And the French guy, I forget his name too. Peter, I don't know.
Help me out a little bit with Moonlight, because I've got a vague working knowledge of the history of the character.
Isn't he like Deadpool?
Simply because he's been in media recently a lot about this series possible or whatever, and so yeah, I took time to kind of read up about him, but I've never read anything.
Either have I. I assumed he was kind of like crazy like Deadpool.
No.
No, he's more like a Batman than if you're going to compare him.
Yeah, very very serious.
Yeah.
Doesn't he work with the moon god or something?
Well, yeah, Khonshu. But I said
Khonshu is where he got his power.
Yeah, the early
was
stories are really interesting.
Yeah.
But like in the in this new series, will there be a Marlene? Will they let him have a split personality? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that in their efforts to not offend anybody with this show, they're going to just make it Moon Knight in name only. I just don't know how.
I'm afraid they're going to do I'm afraid they're going to do the most recent Moon Knight, which is my least favorite. Can't think of the name, but he's like basically in a suit, white mask, white suit.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're going to do that. I'm afraid they're going to do that because that's like a lot cheaper to make than like a real Moon Knight show. I don't know.
Would not surprise me at all.
Right? And some people are, freaking Tito was like, oh, a girl got cast. And I'm like, would not surprise me if they went that way. But if they did that, I literally would, they have no idea how livid I'd be. So they better not cast him.
Well, I know
him. It wouldn't make any sense.
I know Frenchie is gay now, so I'm sure that will stay for the show. Which might.
Some people are saying they wanted someone that was Jewish to play Moon Knight, and I'm like, here we go with something else. I mean, I don't recall. Is he really Jewish? Maybe that's a newer.
Don't remember that mattering, but
yeah, it doesn't matter to me either.
I remember when that stuff didn't matter anyway. But,
right.
But yeah, I mean, is Marlene even still around in the comics, or is she long gone?
I have not read a ton of the new stuff. I just barely bought some more of his this year, and so I've been reading them slowly. So.
I've got the Epic collection that has all of his appearances before his series started. And
I have those too. I have the books and then I have the original comics as well. I've been buying them, so I own the originals. I even own his first appearance in Werewolf by Night 32. And I just looked, and it's how good in shape mine is in it. I looked, it's going for about $1,600 right now. Yikes. I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna sell it.
I'm sure mine wasn't anywhere near in that good a condition.
Well, mine it's a 6.5, so it's not like amazing, but it's not bad. But I think maybe it's just a spike right now since Moon Knight was just announced. Maybe they're going for more now. I don't know. So typically that's what happens though. When Marvel announces something, some superhero, it goes, at least I've noticed that. Don't know if you guys have. So.
So Bankman, your boy's doing another live stream. He's more addicted than you are.
What's up?
What other boy?
Oh, Angleton?
Yeah.
He said he already had one planned. So I don't know who's even. I didn't look see who's even over there.
So that's four tonight.
Wow.
That's a lot. I'm happy if I do one a week.
I know he did the Snack in it. Then he did the Extreme Movie Show.
1990, they did the Homegrown Tourist one, and now he's going to do one of his.
Wait, he did another one after the Homegrown Tourist?
Didn't you say he was doing one? Didn't he do one about an hour ago on Homegrown Tourist?
Yeah, he was doing that one. What's the fourth one though? Because I only
love
remember
comics.
I thought he did the 90s.
Yeah,
Wasn't he doing one of those?
4. I didn't even get a notification for the one on the Homegrown Tourist.
Oh, I didn't know he did one of comics. I remember he just did the.
No, I just looked on there 1 minute ago. He said he's going to do one on his.
But his are like what, between a half an hour and an hour.
Oh, he'll be on until 3 or 4.
Oh, this last one will be a long one.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, but I'm fingers crossed for She-Hulk and Moon Knight though. I'm just hoping since they're like on the tail end that they might be over most of this woke stuff by then.
I don't have any faith at this point. Except for my
I don't either,
Chavez.
Yeah, we didn't talk about America Chavez yet.
I don't know anything about that character.
You don't? You've never heard of Miley Cyrus? What?
Didn't I?
She's part of the Marvel Rising crew, isn't she?
Yeah. But before that, Eric's gonna go get his comic book out collection.
That's right.
He's got it right there. See, I knew he had it.
I get him.
Well,
man, the lighting's terrible.
I said on Twitter that I didn't.
We can see Eric is holding up a piece of paper.
Yes.
It's blue and has red and white on it.
Look, okay, there we go. Got some
I
light
see
there.
the red and white writing on the top. I can't tell what it says.
She's got the Star Spangled Banner sunglasses.
Yeah, I say, well.
So, now I see her. So, why do you own that? Is it really good or is it bad?
Oh God, no! It's the worst thing I've ever read. No, it's.
So why'd you buy it?
I got it from it. Okay.
Kalia, have you ever watched a train wreck?
Eglantine used to do, all the YouTubers used to just crucify this book.
Have you ever gone to a NASCAR race just to watch the crashes?
Captain Frugal shot an issue. And he's the nicest guy in the world. It'd be like your grandpa taking Old Yeller out back and shooting it in front of you. That's how bad this book is.
That's a statement.
Yes, it is.
Is Marvel making a Disney Plus show on her?
Oh yeah. Well, because she's
is it gonna be live action? Or?
Yeah, they wanted to make her a Latino lesbian superheroine, so they went and hired a butch Latin lesbian to write her, and she couldn't write a lick, and she produced 11 of the worst comic books ever done. And I said, I mean, I have all 11 of them. I use them for gags. I mean, that's I say it's the best thing that ever happened to half the people on YouTube. But and they gave her another book. Why do they think
that people want this though? Why do they think people want to watch it?
It's not that they think people want it. They want to get to the point to where they wear you down and you just accept it. I said, comics didn't agree with me fully on that one, but I really do think that's what they're going for.
I think you got to take those 11 issues and just keep them in the next to the throne. And I don't know if you will be reading them or not, but if you should ever run out of toilet paper, you got a lifesaver right there.
I got 4 of them read, and I got to tell you, they're entertaining as hell. They are that bad. I mean, there are some books that are just bad, but these are. You can tell this woman actually thought she was writing something. There she is. Aw. Hello, Gabby. How you doing, hon?
That's a girl.
Yeah, that's National Treasure. That's National Treasure, Gabby Rivera.
And to the right of her is her new book.
Yeah, it's called Tito'z World.
Well, I grew up in Southern California. We had a lot of Latinas.
Angleton's trying to get me to join his stream over there. What do you guys
He
keep
should
going? You
join
guys,
ours.
We got we can anytime.
We can end
got about
it.
maybe 15 or 20 more minutes, or we can
We
end
should-
now.
we should just all jump over there.
Carry the banner for me, Vang. Because I know if I go over there, I'll end up staying up way later than I intend.
No, I'll make sure he kicks you out. See,
Oh, nice.
Kalia, you've never been on I Love's comic stream before. You should go over there too.
Yeah, I can if you want. If he wants me to, it's not my stream. I don't want to.
He dropped the StreamYard link.
Yeah. See, I can't take it from the phone to do that, so I would need it on Twitter. So
it's in the Twitter thing, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, if Christy was here, I'd make another technology, allergic joke, but
she was the wise of us. She stopped watching.
Oh, Christy?
Yeah. She was on there.
I think it's because she was supposed to be driving now. I think her and her mom are switching. I think that's why she left.
I'm surprised she didn't stay on and have her mom talk. Can you imagine if her mom joined the live stream? Hey, it's just Christy's mom. Mom, what are you doing? But
yeah, it's Tito. If you want to go for a minute, or if you want to call it good, I'm
well,
good.
if nobody else has anything they want to bring to the
not really much.
conversation,
I think we covered it though.
All right. Well, why don't you each go ahead and say something about your channel and put your link in the window there, and we'll call it good.
Okay.
yeah.
I'll go, I guess.
Go ahead.
Ladies first.
My channel is the Cinema Queen, and I know I haven't put anything out. I thought I'd be moved by now, but I am probably gonna move in a month or two, so I might just put out some more, just since it has been 2 months. And I will put the link in the description. And on Twitter, I'm Kalia, at Kalia. It's KALEA and then TCQ. So, and thanks for having me, Tito.
Well, thanks for being here. And go ahead and everybody will do the same, but I'll get those links and I'll put them in the description down below too.
Yeah, I threw my Twitter already in there.
Alrighty.
But yeah, I'm the real Dr. V or Dr. Vankin, whatever you want to call me. Call me an asshole. Most people do. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Real Dr. Bankman, or you find me on Sunday nights on Kicking It, the hype show before Extreme Movie Show on Extreme Movie Show channel. So, Eric, where can we find you?
On Twitter at EricSeanBreen1. My YouTube channel is pretty much in the archives at this point, so plus I don't know how to link it anyway. So other than that,
we'll get your link in the description below for you.
You can just find me lurking about.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I've had a good time tonight, and I think we had a good show.
All right.
I do too.
All right. We'll see you all next time.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Yep. Later, guys.